In a beautiful and diverse area, nature, agriculture and livability go hand in hand. But it's not the case everywhere, as finding that balance is not easy. This shows, for instance, when policy aimed at improving that balance unintendedly has an opposite effect. For example, if farmers do not mow part of their fields to give room to nature, then it comes at the expense of the number of cows they are allowed to keep. This discourages many farmers from letting their land become wild and overgrown, while the policy was actually meant to increase biodiversity and livability. What I find so painful about this is that almost all those professionals, policymakers, environmental organizations, farmers, have the best intentions. Moreover, I think that this problem could have been avoided if the policy had been designed in collaboration with all stakeholders, because they could have pointed out these implications at an early stage. Unfortunately, this case is not incidental. It is just one of many examples that illustrate the importance of involving different stakeholders early on if you want to develop effective policies and relevant knowledge. Only then can you ensure that the good intentions and hard work of all those people are transformed into outcomes that make the world a better place. That is what I'm striving for, together with all my colleagues at the Athena Institute.
In this food garden at Eiplein in Amsterdam North, local residents grow vegetables and fruit in a sustainable and affordable way. The land is managed together. Everyone who participates receives a portion of the harvest, and the largest part goes to the food banks. As Athena, we support such regional urban agriculture initiatives by supporting mutual knowledge exchange, so the initiatives can learn from each other. For example, Groen Platform wants to learn from the food garden here at Eiplein.
We want to make healthy and sustainable food accessible to everyone, while shortening food chains. For example, by offering organic, fresh vegetables to neighborhood kitchens for free. With that, we hope that the vegetables will get to people who usually cannot afford them. The food garden at Eiplein is an inspiration to us, as they already have a lot of relevant experience on this topic. We started a similar garden in Amsterdam Southeast. To further develop our garden, we would like to build on the knowledge that they already have here.
This way, we explore together how we can create a resilient food system. Such knowledge is useful for this region, but it can also be used for national and European solutions, as we observe similar issues in other parts of the Netherlands and elsewhere in Europe. That is why we built on these lessons in various EU projects, in which we try to make food systems more sustainable throughout Europe.
The Athena Institute also works outside of Europe to bring together policy, science and practice in the fields of nature, agriculture and livability. This requires a different approach. Whereas in Europe we have to break through established systems, in other parts of the world it's mainly about strengthening systems. Moreover, the dynamics between the parties involved may be very different, and there are cultural differences. In remote mountainous areas in Vietnam and Laos we aim to scale up agriculture initiatives that combat malnutrition, such as vegetable gardens and the raising of chickens, fish and frogs. To determine the priorities, approaches and potential obstacles, we as researchers were keen to sit down with the provincial government, NGOs and the local population. In reality, however, it proved to be difficult to give all these groups a voice during such a meeting. Women from the community said very little, while they are the ones who are affected by the problem and implement the initiatives. After the meeting, it turned out that they were silent out of respect towards the provincial government.
You don't break the cultural dynamic like that overnight. First, we had the government discuss the case to build a consensus and empower each other. Then we had the district government to create a supportive atmosphere, and he emphasized the shared interest of all the parties involved. This gives the women and also the sector confidence in addressing the common problems. With that, it creates the space that we need to start the actual co-creation.
By studying and designing multi-stakeholder processes in many different areas, cultures and sectors, we as researchers always gain new insights. These can be applied within other contexts as well. For example, we apply knowledge gained in Asia to European contexts and vice versa. This diversity ensures a continuous learning process which enriches our research methods.
There are local problems that have a global impact as well, such as climate change. Addressing this problem is complicated, that is for sure. Due to climate change, we realize that issues that we used to approach separately are in reality intertwined. Think, for instance, of problems with agriculture, water management, housing, industry, and mobility. Each party has responsibility for a piece of the problem. This means that all kinds of people need to collaborate to quickly develop suitable solutions that will benefit both current and future generations. But how to get everyone around the table? That's already difficult between policymakers, although they do eventually manage to find each other. Alignment with societal groups is the biggest challenge. How can we ensure that policymakers hear the voices of farmers, citizens' initiatives and vulnerable groups at the right time?
That is exactly what we are working on here, in collaboration with the Netherlands Environmental Assessment Agency. We are encouraging policymakers and scientists to step out of their bubbles and engage in conversation with each other and with various societal groups involved. Shaping that interaction sounds simple, but it's not. Although everyone is very willing, it is still difficult to break through accustomed ways of working. Moreover, these different groups of people all speak their own jargon, and everyone sees the world from their own background and perspective. The Athena Institute tries to build bridges between those perspectives. By encouraging reflection on how the different worlds intersect, we hope to contribute to a more effective climate policy.
There is no quick fix when it comes to addressing complex societal issues in which alignment with all stakeholders is required. For us as researchers, it remains a continuous learning process in which we try to respond to what the situation demands under ever-changing circumstances. In this manner, we are always discovering new ways to bring policy, knowledge and practice together and to help them make progress. When we succeed in building those bridges and allowing professionals to step out of their bubbles, I feel intensely happy, because it means that all those people who put their heart and soul into their work can contribute more effectively to a better world. I want the work of all those professionals to have meaning, so that we get beyond just good intentions. Dat betekent dat al die...
Tuurlijk, jij kan het.
Oh, ik hoorde